guys.
Our show will be a mixture of education, I think you're misreading the law a little bit, and entertainment. My main goal is justice and the law. That's been my legacy, and the legacy I hope to continue into the future with the show.
Max Bratton claims his former co-worker owes him for a loan that was never paid back. Ryan Tamlin says he was working off the loan, but was sent packing before the deadline. Mr. Tamlin is countersuing for $900.
Mr. Bratton, you are suing Mr. Tamlin for $500 that you say he owes you in repayment of a loan. You are counterclaiming against him for $900 that you say he owes you. I'm going to start with you. Tell me what happened.
He's a former coworker of mine. We worked together for about 2 years, and we actually got to know each other pretty well. I mentored him, and then there were some layoffs at the company that we worked for, and about a month after that, you know, I just want to check in on him, make sure he was okay, and turned out, based on our conversation, he was having a really tough time. And he ended up asking me for a loan of $500.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And you know, in the 2 years that I got to know him, he never really asked for a loan like that before. It kind of felt like he really needed it. So, you know, I really wanted to help him out. I liked him. He's very talented.
So you loaned him the $500, and with the understanding was that he would pay you back when? You
know, I didn't give him an exact date. I just said as soon as possible. I knew that he'd been working some odd jobs, and that it sounded like he was working really hard at getting another job. So I just assumed it would be within a reasonable amount of time.
But your opinion of what's a reasonable amount of time and his may be different. That's the problem with a reasonable amount of time.
Yes.
When the repayment didn't happen, Max offered Ryan a chance to work off the debt by building a website for his new company. Max was confident in Ryan's skills, but after 3 months of work, the website was far from complete. Ryan hadn't delivered the final product that was promised in 4 months, but still argued that he had made progress. Was it fair for Max to expect a completed website in 4 months? Or did Max set Ryan up for failure by offering a job with too much pressure? Would you have given Ryan more time or pulled the plug sooner? Let us know your opinion.
But that was the understanding. When he gets a job and he can pay you, he should pay you. All right, then what happens?
I checked on him monthly, gave him a call, he was still looking, called him again the following month, and he was still looking, no prospects, nothing. And then after the 3rd month, it kind of became clear that he wasn't really looking for a new job. It just felt like he was stringing me along. Okay. And I was beginning to feel like I was being taken advantage of.
So you decided then?
He started crying over the phone, Judge. So I decided to give him an opportunity to work this money off.
And work it off by doing what?
By building a website for my new company.
And what made you think he had that kind of talent?
Oh, because we'd worked together before.
So you've seen websites he's built for other people?
I've seen websites he's built for other people. I knew that we'd worked in a corporate environment where deadlines mattered. So I gave him a certain amount of time to get this website done.
How much time did you give him for the website to get done?
4 months, Your Honor.
And was the website done?
No.
All right. What was he able to get done in those 4 months?
An unsatisfactory amount of work. It was really, really disappointing.
All right, he calls you to see how you're doing, and you hit him up for money.
Yes.
Okay.
He called me, and after a month, he called me after a month. I got laid off from the company. He calls me just to check up on me, because we had a rapport and everything. So he called to check up on me. I tell him, hey, I got laid off. It's been rough, trying to find jobs and everything.
Can I have a few bucks?
And I have.
So you borrow $500, and when and how are you supposed to pay that money back?
Well, we agreed that once I got a job and I had sufficient income to pay him back, I would. And I was very thankful.
Let me ask you a question. What were you doing? What kind of job were you looking for?
We worked at a marketing firm, so I was working I know how to do website design, so I was looking to do something like that, like marketing.
All right, but in the meantime, throughout all those months that you owed him the money, did you take a job at McDonald's or somewhere else just to survive? What did you do?
I was doing odd I was doing odd jobs. Like
So you just didn't have, did you make like a payment just so that he would know that you weren't forgetting him? Like, did you say to him, can I give you a little here, a little there? Did you do anything to try to repay the loan? I
didn't do anything to repay the loan, but we had an agreement that I would pay him back once I was employed, and I was working on getting gainfully employed so I could pay him back.
So in any event, at some point, the deal entirely changes. You are going to do a website for him.
Yes.
Does it take 4 months for you to do a website?
That was the time that we agreed on to make, but then after 3 months, like, so he checked in with me monthly, right? Like, I didn't have anything.
What exactly? Okay, besides saying you're working on it, what have you done in 2 months? That's what I want to know.
Coming up on Justice for the People.
I gave you more than enough time to not only find work,
didn't.
but
You
to
didn't give him the time
well, I went
you
and found
agreed
somebody
on.
else.
I didn't write the contract. You did.
Yeah,
I didn't dream the contract. You did.
And later,
And then in the middle of cooking, we hear a crash. Damien, your son, said, "I'm so sorry, the snow globe fell over. Come in."
So it was
and
an
see."
accident.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Justice for the People with Judge MILIAN. We're back with a case of Max Bratton, who brought Ryan Tamlin to court over a tangled web of financial woes.
The first month I was brainstorming and working on the aesthetics, and the second month I was putting in the code, making sure if you click somewhere it works. But after 2 months, like, it's not feasible to show someone that because it's just a bunch of code and lines.
So you tell him you don't want to, excuse me, you tell him you don't want to show it to him yet, and then month 3 happens, and what happens?
Month 3 happens, and I have the meat of the website is done. Everything is, but the only thing is that aesthetically is not complete because we agreed on 4 months. But then after the third, and so I showed him the website after 3 months and everything, and I thought everything was good.
Wait,
but then,
were you done when you showed it to him after 3 months?
No, I was not finished.
No. Okay, so when you say you thought everything was good, you mean?
The major conflict here is Max's decision to end the arrangement early. He gave Ryan 4 months, but pulled the plug on the deal after only 3 months, even though Ryan still had 1 month left to finish the website. Max felt that Ryan had enough time, while Ryan thought he was on track. This raises a key issue. Can one party unilaterally change the terms of an agreement, especially when no formal contract is in place? Did Max have the right to pull out early, or should he have waited for Ryan to finish? Where do you stand on this? Let us know.
What did you mean?
I mean, we talked. I showed him the website. I showed him that everything was functioning and everything, but it wasn't the 4 months yet. So the last month is to make everything pretty and marketable, you know, so people will come and use the website.
Okay.
But so we talked, and I showed him the website, and I thought everything was good because it wasn't the 4 months yet, right? And so, but then the very next day, he reaches out and says, "Oh, I'm actually going to be making, I'm going to be going with someone else and have them to work on the website."
So, but he didn't. So he doesn't end up using any of the stuff you did.
No.
But you feel it is unfair to have you working all that time and then not give you any credit for the work that you did.
Yes.
Because you feel he pulled the rug out from under you before it was time.
Yes.
He didn't give you the full 4 months.
I have a log of all the things that I did in those 3 months and the hours that I worked.
Let me see that.
Just a log.
Why did you pull the rug out from under him before the fun? Like, you were so patient all the other times. I'm wondering why you didn't just wait until the 4 months were over.
I mean,
and then I haven't asked my question yet. Yeah. And then say, once he gives you the finished product, that's acceptable, that's not acceptable. You know what? I don't want your product. Give me the $500. You know, whatever it is coming to your head. But why don't you at least give him that other month for him to go ahead and finish it?
I'm growing my own business, Your Honor. This is something that I've been very passionate about for a long time. That 4 month period, yes, I said 4 months, but I know what he can do. So I fully expected him to be done with this well before the 4 month period. So that's why when he showed me what he had
then why
after
did you
3
give him
months,
4 months? Well, you muddied
I
the
said 4
waters
months.
because if your contract is he has 4 months to give you a finished product, in 3/4 of the way through you pulled the plug. So what am I supposed to do? Say, oh no, now you got it. You worked for 3 months, but now you got to pay the $500. I mean, what was your theory behind pulling the plug 1 month in advance of the time that you had given him?
I was giving him extra time because I know he's also out there looking
Well,
for
then,
other
but you're
work.
not. I know. Then what made you change your mind and not give him the extra time?
Because he gave me this, Your Honor. If I may, please show.
Yeah, you
This
may,
is
but if it's not done, it's not done. I mean, if you wait until the 4 months are over and then what he gives you is unacceptable, that's one thing. What does this page represent? Explain things to me.
It's the main layout of the thing, but it's not pretty. But everything is
No,
functional.
it's not a matter of pretty. Where do you click on things?
On the top row, you see all those like it's still kind of bare because I didn't have enough time to put the aesthetics into it. But everything functionally works. If you click something, it brings you to another page.
All right.
Everything
So how
works
much
correctly.
more work did you have?
It was just the last month was all working on cosmetics.
After what he showed me, I dropped this clown because I gave you more than enough time to not only find work,
No, you didn't.
but
You
to
didn't give him the time
Well, I went
you
and found
agreed
somebody
on.
else.
I didn't write the contract. You did.
Yeah,
I didn't dream the contract. You did. I didn't enter the contract verbally with him. You did. So you decide that you're going to give him 4 months, and then you change the parameters, but you want me to say his work is worthless. You can't pull the plug beforehand because then it's you who's breaching. You see? I mean, listen. You're a businessman. You didn't like what you saw. You didn't have a lot of time left. You can make all the decisions you want.
Absolutely.
You're large and in charge. But here's the deal. You're coming to court then and saying, and you got to pay me $500. If you were just at home and saying, forget it, I'm pulling the plug, I'm cutting my losses, okay. But that's not what you're doing. You're coming to court and saying, you breached the contract because I don't like what you've done so far. That's not how it works. So I'm going to order you to pay back a portion of the loan since you didn't end up having to do the rest of the work, $125 for him. The $900 is just you making that up. The only thing that was ever supposed to happen.
Judge MILIAN ultimately sided with Max to a degree, but also ruled that Ryan should be compensated $125 for the work done. The judge found that Max was entitled to partial repayment, but Ryan's $900 claim was excessive. This verdict presents a critical lesson in contract enforcement and fair expectations. Is $125 a fair amount for the work Ryan completed? Or did the judge make the right call by ensuring that Max only paid for what was actually done? What do you think of this ruling? Share your thoughts below.
Was the $500 were supposed to be forgiven. So tell me the math on your $900.
The $900 is I did $30 an hour for all the work that I did, right?
What contract is that? This is the first time I've heard that contract. Did he ever enter into that contract?
The $30 is just like a base amount of pay for the work that I've
You
done.
weren't being offered for this job, were you? That may be, first of all, if you were getting $30 an hour, where you been for 4 months when you owed him the $500? So this $30 an hour thing is completely made up in your mind right now in front of me for this case. But I cannot enforce a contract you didn't enter into. You can't just decide the contract you wish you'd done. Oh, I wish I'd charged him $30 an hour. Where are you coming from? On your counterclaim against him, 0. On his claim against you, a portion of the money, $125. That's what's fair.
All rise.
Judge MILIAN has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $125.
I mean, it's not $500, you know. That's fine with me, I guess.
You got lucky. You owe me so much money. $125. Merry Christmas.
Coming up,
My son Damien, which she doesn't like.
Why doesn't she like Damien?
Damien is not her
He's
brother.
your child from another man.
Yeah.
Yes, so what?
this is Justice for the People with Judge MILIAN. Rachel Tompkins claims her former sister-in-law's child smashed a treasured snow globe. Jessica Sullivan says the plaintiff is to blame for the accident because she didn't stop the kids from roughhousing.
Ms. Tompkins, you are suing Ms. Sullivan, your former sister-in-law?
Yes.
Okay. For $595.36 because, according to you, a snow globe her child broke was her responsibility to replace. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, so I have these weekly family dinners, and my ex-sister-in-law and my brother got divorced a couple years ago. About 6 months after the divorce, I reached out because my kids and her kids are still friends, and I want to keep the
How
cousins.
many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids, and she has 2.
Okay.
So my
Are they
son and her
similar ages?
Yeah, my son and her son are the same age. My daughter, her daughter are the same age.
Okay.
A few months after the divorce, reached out to see if she'd be willing to come back to those dinners, and she agreed, and so we started doing that for the first few weeks. It was great. It was fun to be all back together again. And then around the same time that my brother started being serious with a new partner, Jessica kind of started just dropping her kids off for the dinner, but not staying herself.
Okay, but hold on. All right.
Yeah.
Tell me about this snow globe. $595.36 for a snow globe? I mean, I never.
I never either. My godmother gave it to my husband and I as a wedding present.
The children were playing roughly, and Rachel heard the noise but didn't intervene in time to prevent the snow globe from being knocked over. Now, Rachel wants compensation for the damage, while Jessica insists it was an accident and that Rachel was the one responsible for watching the kids. Was it Jessica's responsibility to stop her child from roughhousing? Or did Rachel, as the host, have the ultimate duty to supervise the children? Could this situation have been avoided if one of them had stepped in earlier? What do you think?
Okay.
For our 5-year wedding anniversary.
How big was it, or how intricate was it, or
It
what
was a standard size snow globe, but it had this like gold plating and
Interesting.
Yeah, it was nothing like I had ever seen before, but it became a really
No, I like to see how the other half lived.
Coming up,
Did you feel uncomfortable when you were there?
Yeah, very much so.
Is there anything she did that made you feel uncomfortable, or the whole thing just got uncomfortable for you?
The whole thing got uncomfortable for me.
this is Justice for the People with Judge MILIAN. We're back with a case of Rachel Tompkins, who blames Jessica Sullivan for a shattered snow globe.
Where was the snow globe?
So it was sitting on a coffee table, end table situation on the back side of a couch.
Did you stop her from leaving and say, no, I'm not watching your kids?
I asked if she would be staying for dinner this time, and she said no, she had a really urgent errand to run.
Okay,
Again,
so you agreed to watch the children while she went in the yard.
I did.
All right,
Yeah,
and
the
then
kids
what
had already run
happens?
inside. They were playing kind of rough sounding, like the boys were wrestling, the girls were kind of cheering them on. And then in the middle of cooking, we hear a crash. Damien, your son, said, I'm so sorry, the snow globe fell over, come in
So it was
and
an
see."
accident.
It was an accident.
According to all the children, it was an accident.
My son, Jeremy, and your son, Damien, were the ones who were wrestling. Jeremy, I could hear yelling, kind of like, okay, like this is, you're playing too rough, like let's...
Well, you don't think he
that's
picked up her
not-
snow globe and trashed it on purpose?
Absolutely not, but
So
he
it was
was-
because the boys were wrestling, which apparently you knew and let go on. When did you tell her you wanted her to pay for the snow globe?
When she came to pick up Damien.
And what did she say?
No.
When did you first find out that this tragedy with the snow globe had happened?
She basically texted me saying that my son Damien, which she doesn't like,
This case gets more complicated with the added tension between Rachel and Jessica. Rachel feels uncomfortable because of family dynamics, especially after Jessica's divorce and the new partner involved. Rachel thinks Jessica doesn't like her son, Damien, due to his biological father being different from her brothers. Does this family history affect the case, or should the issue solely focus on the snow globe incident? Can personal feelings influence legal decisions, or should they remain separate? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments.
Why doesn't she like Damien?
Damien is not her
He's
brother.
your child from another man.
Yeah.
Yes, so what? What does that have to, so we're all from somebody. Why does that mean she doesn't like Damien? She's
That's
inviting
what
him,
I'm-
but
that's
she's
what-
inviting him over every Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to...
Where do you get the idea that she doesn't like Damien?
Last Christmas, for instance, she gave him a 2-year-old Lego set.
All right.
So
Before the divorce, how was your relationship with your sister-in-law?
before the divorce, it's great. I mean, like...
And was the divorce somebody's fault or nobody's fault?
It was divorced because John was seeing someone else.
Okay. Is it the
So-
person he's with now?
Yes.
Did you feel uncomfortable when you were there?
Yeah, very much so.
Is there anything she did that made you feel uncomfortable, or the whole thing just got uncomfortable for you?
The whole thing got uncomfortable for me.
Okay.
Judge MILIAN's verdict when Justice for the People returns. This is Justice for the People with Judge MILIAN.
Why, Rachel, would you think that Jessica should be responsible for paying for the expensive snow globe? Because it's her kid?
I believe if she had been there, like the original setup was supposed to be, I don't think this would have happened.
Okay,
because
but
we
then
had-
that may be true. But then where do I put the fact that you let her not be there? The situation I have is that you and your husband are 100% supposed to be watching the kids. You can hear them wrestling, so that's lovely. But then these are the consequences of it. And she didn't inappropriately supervise her child. You inappropriately supervised the child. If he was able to break something valuable because you let the roughhousing go on in your house, even though you were hearing it and you didn't put a stop. The girls are cheering them on and they're rough. Okay, it's fine with you. It's fine with me too. It's fine with her too. You know, it's not fine with the snow globe. But that's something that is 100% entirely within your control. In this situation, there is no parental liability on her part. You were in charge of the children, and therefore you would be the one who's supposed to be supervising them.
Judge MILIAN has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
Judge Milan ruled in favor of Jessica, stating that Rachel was responsible for the supervision of the children, not Jessica. The judge emphasized that while accidents happen, Rachel was in charge of the children in her home, and the roughhousing could have been stopped before the damage occurred. Was this verdict fair? Should Rachel have been held accountable for the broken snow globe, or does Jessica have a point? Do you agree with the judge's decision, or do you think Rachel should have been compensated? Share your thoughts. In the end, both cases bring us to important questions about responsibility, fairness, and expectations. Max's case against Ryan ended with a partial win, but Ryan was awarded only $125. In the snow globe case, Judge Milan ruled that Rachel was liable for the damage and denied her compensation claim. What do you think of the rulings? Were they fair, or do you disagree with the judge's decisions? Let us know your opinions in the comments below. And if you enjoyed these cases, don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more riveting courtroom breakdowns.